Okay, I have my pages all cut out. You should end up with 36 pieces that are 5 3/8 by 3 1/8. That's what you should end up with. And if I've already, like I said, I've already cut mine and I've already inked all my edges, so these are ready to go. And what I'm going to do is just take 6. Now I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I just have these stacked so that there's not two that are the same right next to each other, but I do use the reverse sides on them a lot, so that's how I keep track of how I do them. So like this one has this on the back, so I would probably use these two together. So that's how I usually work mine. So I'm going to set that aside, and then we'll take a page, put that over there. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is find the paper that we want to go behind our little pocket here. And I spread out my pages so I can see what I'm working with, so I can pick which ones I want to. And I just set these, I just set these up so I can see which ones I have, kind of like that. And I know that in the pocket ones, I did want to put this one on one. And then I wanted to put this one on the other. So I was going to just glue those down and then glue down the sides of my little pocket and then just put those down like that. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So let me do that and then I'll show you what mine looks like. Okay, so this is what this looks like with this page in, and then the pockets, glued down for this one and for that. Now when you have writing, you need to make sure that you're going the right way, because I can get turned around sometimes on that, so I got to double check to make sure, because I've accidentally done mine upside down before. So this is how it's looking so far, and now I'll just put the papers that I want on the other pages. So this one I was going to put on the front because I have them in order how I'm going to want them to be. Then this one I was going to have here. And then this one I was going to have here. And then this one I was going to have here. So that was my plan. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, I got the pages on. So they look like, yeah, I changed my mind on this one. I was originally going to put the bricks next to, there was too much black. I didn't really, not for this, I didn't want that much black, so I switched out and I put this here. And then we've got this one, and then I put the brick on the back. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put a pocket on the front. So you should have plenty of scrap paper, so get out a piece of scrap cardstock, and if you want a decorative edge, go ahead and just punch a little edge on there, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this little heart punch that I have that just punches little, I don't know if I got a big shadow here, that punches little hearts, and I'm going to put that there. And you can make your pocket however deep you want. I'm just going to find out how I want. I'm going to punch my edge first and then decide how wide I want my pocket to be. And then I'm just going to just glue that down, and I'll show you what mine looks like. So this is the little piece that I have right here. So I just got my little punch out. I punched and then I measured it. So I will just glue that down like that on just the 3 sides to make a little pocket. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. So let me do that. So this is what you should have. Little pocket. Just a little pocket we can stick. And you get a little piece of paper here. We can just stick a little something in the little pocket. We'll make a little tag for that later on. And okay, so on the inside, right here, I was thinking of putting like a little tuck spot. So in your scraps, you're probably going to find a bunch of these that we have when we were trimming our pages down. So you probably have a bunch of these. So just take some, because they're a nice size, and I'm going to put them on the corner like that here. So what I was going to do is just take those and make a mark where I need to trim And then I'm just going to go to my paper trimmer, and then I'm going to trim that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. You should get a piece that looks kind of like that, a little triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set it here, and I'm going to glue that down. And when I glue it, I'm only going to glue on the two sides. I'm not going to glue on the bottom or the top, just the two sides, just to hold it in place for a little tuck spot, like that. So let me go do that. Okay, so that's what I have. And that's just going to be a little tuck spot. You can tuck something in. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on this page. And then we're going to flip this over. And on this page, I was going to do the same thing. Cut out a piece from my strip and make another tuck spot. So let's do that. Okay, so this is what you should have. So we're just going to glue that right down. Just like that. Okay. Now on this page, I'm going to put a little I'm going to put a belly band, and we're just going to take a piece of, scrap, and then put it here. Now ideally, which I should have done first, is to put my belly band on first and then wrap it around, then cement, not cement, but then glue this down. But since I didn't do that for this, for the next ones I will, so just to let you know. But I can go ahead and just cut it to fit and then glue the two sides down. It's just going to be, well, you want it tight, so it's going to work either way, but ideally I was going to wrap it around. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to fit, and then I'm going to glue that down, and then I'll show you what we have. Okay, the little belly band is on, so that's good. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is go through our scrap design paper. Now we have tons of that left over. So what you're going to need to do is just go and start cutting to fit on your, wherever we place the black cardstock. Because I don't know which, what decorative edge you used or anything like that, so I can't give you a size on what to put in here. So I'm going to find a piece to put in here. I'm also going to find a piece to put along the little tuck spot and along the pocket and along this pocket on this little tuck spot and across my belly band. So I'm going to go ahead and find those design papers I want to put on those, and then I'll show you how I came up, or I'll show you what I came up with. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is how it turned out. Look at this and that, and then that. So now we just need to do that for all the rest of our pages, and I'll show you what mine look like when I have them completed. Okay, I have all my pages done. I have all the paper on all my pages, and I did it on all of them. So the next thing we need to do now is we need to attach them in our album. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your score tape and put a piece along both sides of your flaps. And then you're going to take your page, and you're going to see where it opens. They're a little stiff here for me to, where you can open them. See how they open? You can get your hand in there. This opening is going to slide right onto one of the hinges. And when you put that in, you need to make sure you don't, let me move that out of the way, you don't go over the score line here. You want to stay about 2-3 millimeters away from that. Because if you get too close to that, then your pages aren't going to move they'll be too tight in there, so they won't have any wiggle room to, move from side to side. So let me go ahead and prepare my album to do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. This is what all my hinges look like with the score tape on. I just put score tape on both sides. And what I'm going to do next is I'll have to do this off camera, but I'm going to remove the score tape on both sides, and I will probably have to use a little bit of wet glue on mine because I'll need some wiggle room. And then I'm just going to take my page, and then I'm like this, and then I'm just going to fold it over and staying away from the score line, and then I'm just going to put it on in my book like that. And then I'm like, okay, when I have all my pages in there, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here's all the pages are in the book. We've got them all in. So now all we're going to need to do is the decorating. Making tags, picture mats. That's what it looks like. Really nice, and it still fits nicely in the box. That's what you got to be aware of, because if you make these too chunky, it might not fit back in this little box, because it is little. Now this is, we can expand a little bit more, which is going to be fine because it has room for all the pictures. But we're not going to be able to embellish a lot inside, because as you can see, it's not a lot of expansion here. See, this is all the way out now. So most of our decorating is going to be on the outside. Okay, so let me go ahead and get everything ready to do that, and we'll start decorating our box and our album. I almost forgot that we need to make inserts for our album too, that go inside. So we're going to need to make those, and the measurements for the inserts are 5 by 2.5. Well, I almost forgot to tell you, we need to do inserts for these pages. Yeah, I went through and I said, wait a minute, I forgot to tell you how to do the inserts. So what you're going to need to do is, with your cardstock, cut a piece that's 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, and then with your pattern paper, 5 by 2.5, and then just do that. And then those will go in the little inserts here. And so you'll need to make 6 of those. So why don't you do that?